get your teeth smoked. Don't provoke or 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 get your vocal, 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 get your.
Walk without rhythm, it won't attract the world. Walk without rhythm, and it won't attract the world. Walk without rhythm, and it won't attract the world. If you walk without rhythm, you never learn. By the tone of my voice, but you never learn rhythm to us. Don't be shy.
Ladies, gentlemen, everybody else. Hello and good evening, São Paulo Theater. Europe's biggest club show has dropped anchor in Hamburg. Welcome to the 2023 Anchor Awards. Please make some noise for your glorious, charming host this evening, Alexandra Maurer.
Good evening, everyone. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. And please give it up again for my significant other host, Pelle Almqvist.
Woo!
Oh, fantastic. Oh my gosh. Well, welcome to the fastest award show ever. We've got one single award to give out tonight, so we should be fairly done in like...
I don't have a watch.
Me neither, so let's just find out, okay, if you're with me. I've been traveling between Zurich and London for many years now, but I've only just come to the conclusion that the best place to be is actually in the middle, like Hamburg. I mean, what is there not to love about St. Pauli, right? I mean, Pelle, what do you think about this place?
Well, everybody knows Hamburg knows it's rock and roll. If you make it here, you're doing everything right. This is the first place my band got popular. Or felt popular. So it has a special place for me. I love Hamburg, don't you?
Hamburg loves you too, definitely. And also, if I'm looking into a couple of faces, I don't know who, like a lot of them that came to see you perform yesterday with the Hives. I mean, you guys must be wrecked. I don't know how he is standing here looking this fresh. Doesn't he look incredible? I mean, he was doing stage dives 1 a.m. in the morning. I mean,
rock and roll is the fountain of youth, that and like Illuminati level, really expensive skin cream.
Also, you're really well behaved, I must say. Usually he comes on stage, he either hurts himself or tips things over. Hasn't happened yet.
No, yeah, I'll save it for later. I'm going to try to keep it together in respect for the massive talent we have gathered here tonight that you're going to see.
Exactly. We've got 6 up-and-coming bands and artists that are awarded or nominated for the Anchor Award 2023.
Yeah. And they're so ready and excited to come out and play for you. I can feel in my showbiz bones that it's tingling backstage here.
It is everywhere. I can feel the tinkle. And the Anchor Award never fails to actually push equally the winners and the nominees' careers to the next level. Pretty much like film festivals are stepping stones for film directors these days. And on top of that, the winner walks away with a voucher from PRG worth 20,000 euros. I love the way you're looking at me right now. You're like, what? 20,000 euros.
That's real money.
That's a lot of money because they can use it for whatever on their next tour. They can use it for audio, technique, light, rigging, you name it. You're the pro. You know that it costs a lot of money, right?
a lot of medications. No, I don't think you can't use it for that. So, within the last 2 days, the nominees gave their all, gave their best in front of our very distinguished jury. We've already seen them on the screen, and now I think it's time that we saw them in person. Welcome them to the stage.
Exactly. She is one of America's most sought-after songwriters and an outstanding singer herself. She has become a highly influential and respected figure in the music industry. Please, a big round of applause for Taylor Parks. Woo! Good evening, my love.
And she is one of Great Britain's best-selling artists. Her unique combination of folk, rock, jazz runs deep and never fails to reach people's hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, Katie Melua.
She has taken alternative pop to experimental heights never before heard of, and she is an icon in the contemporary art and fashion scene. Big round of applause and welcome, Banks.
And last but certainly not least, he produced David Bowie. He's worked with groundbreaking artists and bands such as U2 and Paul McCartney. He is the jury's leader, the distinguished Mr. Tony Visconti. Holding the award. We're going to give this away to some lucky souls. Last year, I was a part of the jury, Tony, as you remember. And that was really hard. So I'm happy to have an easier job now, just standing here talking and looking like I know what I'm doing.
Good.
How hard was it to come to a decision this year?
This year it wasn't that hard, but we liked most of the band, all of them in fact, you know, but hello, I made a mistake, didn't I? So we had a good time.
Yeah, great.
Great time to see them all at that lovely nightclub.
Yeah.
What was it called?
It's a Grünspan.
That's right, yes.
Tony, could you pass the microphone to Katie, please, quickly, because I've got a question. I heard, Katie, during the nominees' concerts, so you're mingling with the crowd, being part of that vibe. How important is it actually before or during a decision like this, major, especially for newcomer bands and artists, to feel the vibe or to feel actually the crowd's vibe while listening to the artists perform?
It's essential because, you know, a concert experience is about being in that part of the room, you know, being with the rest of the crowd, feeling the energy that the artist is giving off stage. And also sound can change depending on which part of the room you're in.
Oh, wow.
So it was fascinating to experience it in all the corners of the space.
You might be now wandering around during our performances here. Now you saying that it sounds a bit different everywhere. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. Shall we start the show? Thank you, Katie. And I'm sure you all do remember Waldorf and Statler from The Muppet Show. Do you guys remember The Muppet Show? Fantastic. Yeah, that's what we're basically doing tonight.
Sitting on a balcony talking trash?
Sitting on a balcony, having sophisticated conversations about music and the meaning of life, Pelle. That's what we are doing. But up there, that balcony, that's where we shall meet again, dear judges. Okay, so for now, if that's okay, can you have a seat? And we will chat soon. A big round of applause for our jury, ladies and gentlemen.
And as the jury is taking their seats in the jury box, we'd like to present our first nominee. He only needed 2 songs to capture the hearts and minds of the young generation. Prepare to be touched by an honest and daring performance by one of your very own, local boy from Hamburg. Give it up for Berk.
Ich bin Berg, ich komme hier aus dem wunderschönen Hamburg. Ich mache seit genau einem Jahr Musik unter diesem Namen.
Unique, fresh, bold, audacious. These are the attributes with which the German music legend Herbert Grönemeyer describes the 19-year-old. A voice that captivates everyone, writes the music press.
Ich erzähle Geschichten, die mich sehr viel beschäftigt haben oder immer noch beschäftigen, nehme vor allem Themen, die mich sehr lange wach liegen lassen haben und hoffe, dass meinetwegen und wegen meiner Musik Leute auch ganz lange im Bett wach rumliegen und nachdenken.
Und danke für die Bindungsängste, krass, dass du das zweimal schaffst. Bin dankbar für die Superkraft.
Musik kann ganz viel mehr sein als einfach nur eine Beschäftigung für die Ohren.
Danke für die Bindungsängste, für die Reste in der Brust, wobei anderen ein Herz ist.
In March 2023, Berg released his debut EP Rote Flaggen. Honest, poetic, originally not intended for the public, and that's precisely why it's so unusual, so extraordinary.
Ich erzähle die privatesten und persönlichsten Gedanken und gebe sehr viel von mir preis, weil ich auch gar nicht wusste, dass sich das Menschen anhören würden. Ich habe das für mich alleine im Keller gemacht und für mich auch viel verarbeitet in meiner Musik.
Berg has only been performing live in front of his fans for a few months. The hype around his music and his persona has gained momentum. Nominated for the Anchor Award 2023 from Germany, Berg.
Danke, dass ich hier sein darf.
Auf Fahrt stehen 100 rote Flaggen, die ich sehe. Drum komm und geh ich immer. Je näher ich dir bin, bist du lauter schreit Echo. Stimm mir zu, wenn ich ans Aufgeben denk. Je näher ich dir bin, bist du lauter schreit die dunkle Gestalt. Mein Echo. Wären nicht treu, barfuß von der Sandstrandtour, pendelst du schneller von Make Me zu Stairway als Omas Wandstanduhr. Schickst mir ein Snap, dass ich komm, sei safe. Copy and Paste aus eurem Chatverlauf. Das schreibst du ihm doch auch, egal wer mich verlässt. Einer ist für immer da. Der Teil in mir, der schreit, wenn ich denk. Ich will aber, je näher ich dir bin, bist du lauter schreit's Echo. Oh, stimm mir zu, wenn ich ans Aufgeben denk. Je näher ich dir bin, bist du lauter schreit die dunkle Gestalt. Wenn ich um 4 Uhr noch online bin, dann weil in meinem Bett wieder was grübelt, mich mein Herzschlag wieder mal verprügelt. Und wenn du was tust, was mir wehtut, dann hab ich's schon erwartet. Zerdenken hat potenziell Wunden, präventiv verhaftet. Egal wer mich verlässt, einer ist für immer da. Der Teil in mir, der schreit, wenn ich denk. Ich will aber, je näher ich dir bin, bist du lauter schreit's Echo. Stimm mir zu, wenn ich ans Aufgeben denk. Je näher ich dir bin, bist du lauter schreit die dunkle Gestalt. Mein Echo. Je näher ich dir bin, bist du lauter schreit's Echo. Stimm mir zu, wenn ich ans Aufgeben denk. Je näher ich dir bin, bist du lauter schreit die dunkle Gestalt.
costumes. Wow. That song really does leave an echo in our minds. Beautiful performance. And I'm looking up to our balcony and I can see, Pelle, you're ready. You're joined by Taylor Parks. Are you guys ready to jam?
Yeah, we're going to leave the performance of the nominees, I think.
Exactly.
That seems to make sense tonight. But I did bring this ukulele.
Okay.
We'd like every member of the jury to sign it for a good cause. And we'll auction it off at the end of this thing. There you go. Feel free to personalize it in a way you deem fit. Wonderful, thank you. I'll hold it. I promise to not play anything. All right, this is your third time on the jury.
It is, it is.
And we're so happy to have you. It might seem presumptuous, but what makes the Rep and Barn Festival so outstanding?
I think one thing that makes this particular festival outstanding is the fact that we are judging a lot of different genres, judging a lot of different, people from all around the world.
Yeah.
And art is so personal, and this isn't about who is better as an artist or whatever. It's really just about like, okay, everybody has their right time. And we were able to see so many incredible acts from so many incredible places. And whether I could understand what the language was or not, I felt something with every single person.
Oh, that's wonderful. The Rep and Barn Festival is an event promoting diversity on every level. With this in mind, how far has the music industry come and how far does it need to go?
Well, I think that festivals like this are extremely important to the evolution of the music industry because it is about diversity. It is about redefining what is pop culture. It's about redefining what a genre could be and redefining what a music industry could be. And when you have any type of platform that allows the freedom to do those things, you inevitably transform and evolve an industry. And we need more, platforms like this to push artistry.
Yeah, that's great. You're also something called feel free to clap. You're also the Key Change Ambassador. Could you tell us a bit about this campaign and what's happening there?
Absolutely. Being a Key Change Ambassador is extremely fun because it's one of those things that, I'm a creative who also really enjoys the business side of the music business. And I truly believe that whether you're a lawyer or a manager or a business manager, whatever, all of these jobs require a certain amount of creativity when you're doing that. And I always respect them so much. And, with that particular, the Key Change is about how do you balance being a musician in the music business. And for people who are interested in that, it really is really nice to be able to have that conversation about how do I balance it and seeing, other people are going to take that information, take what they will and, turn it into whatever fits for them.
Yeah. You've worked with many big artists like Ariana Grande and Jennifer Lopez and Alicia Keys, and I could keep name dropping, but what collaboration left the biggest mark on you?
I think I don't know, it would have to be out of the internet in the Ego Death album or JD and Domi Beck. Because a lot of times, you hear these big names like Ariana or Christina or Mariah, and sometimes the jazz artists, they forget, no, I'm an actual musician, or sometimes you see somebody who's a classical artist and you're able to stretch yourself. So I think any project that gives me the opportunity to be a student is something that has affected me the most.
Yeah.
And to really learn from my collaborators, that's what music is about. So anything that gives me an opportunity to step outside of myself is the most inspiring for me.
That's awesome. So for our last question, we were trying to be lazy and asking ChatGPT what interesting questions would be for our distinguished judges. And the technology is not there. All the suggestions were terrible. So our producer came up with some of their own, and you're going to have to pick one now, and I'm going to read it to you like I just came up with it off the top of my head.
Okay, let's see.
So let's see how this goes.
Okay.
This will be our last question for Taylor.
Okay. Which cartoon character would you choose for a duet? And this is extremely easy because they're an icon, and it's SpongeBob. Honestly, SpongeBob's catalog, SpongeBob catalog is going off, whether it's the Campfire song, the Larry the Lobster song. SpongeBob's been killing it, for a decade or more. So that's who I would want to duet with.
That's a good call. Let's get on with the music, shall we? You've seen You've seen Paris Paloma at the Greenspan yesterday. What were your feelings about the concert?
I had such an incredible time seeing, all the artists because, like I said, they're so different. But being able to listen to the lyrics, I learned a lot. And that's something that as a songwriter, I expect to be able to listen to a song and be able to walk away from that performance knowing more about the artist. That's all that I ask. It's not a matter of it being the perfect note or the perfect song or I just need to feel you. And that is what music is supposed to do. So I will definitely say that I had so many emotions last night that are inspiring to me that I can now go back to LA when I fly tomorrow and tell so many people about these incredible artists that I saw, and also see where music is going. It's inspiring.
Yeah, that's a better introduction that I could do. So here is, listen closely to Paris Paloma and her lyrics.
It's been just over 3 years since the 23-year-old singer-songwriter from Great Britain started making music. Fans of wonderful, dark, melancholic music with indie elements and a soulful, strong voice will love Paris Paloma. Her songs are pure poetry, sometimes soft and heart-wrenching, sometimes lightly aggressive and vengeful.
It's not an act of love if you make her, you make me do too much labor.
It's been really, really surreal. A really emotional experience, kind of out of body, but incredibly cathartic to see words that I wrote alone sung back to me with many people in the room.
Her biggest success so far, the song Labor. The song has generated an enormous response from around the world. Over 13 million people have watched, shared, and commented on the video so far. On social media, especially on TikTok, women are expressing their anger about prevailing unjust circumstances.
You don't need him, you don't need me. With a poison bottle, you'll be free. But be damn sure you don't mix it up with mine.
You're looking for an anthem for the emancipatory movement? Paris Paloma definitely has it.
I met a woman with
Nominated for the Anchor Award 2023 from the UK, Paris Paloma.
She said, when you hate the body you are in, oh love your acting just for him. If you count this island, this was an escape plan. Carefully timed it, so let me go and dive into the waves below. Who tends the orchards? Who fixes up the gables? Emotional torture from the head of your high table. Who fetches the water from the rocky mountain spring and walk back down again to feel your words and their sharp sting? And I'm getting fucking tired. The capillaries in my eyes are bursting. If our love died, would that be the worst thing? For somebody I thought was my savior sure made me do a whole lot of labor. The callous skin on my hands is cracking. If our love ends, would that be a bad thing? And the silence haunts our bedchamber. You made me do too much labor. Apologies from my tongue and never yours. Busy lapping from flowing cup and stabbing with your fork. I know you're a smart man and weaponize the false incompetence. It's dominance under a guise. If we had a daughter, I'd watch and could not save picture from the high table. She'd do what you told her. She'd meet the same cruel fate. So now I've gotta run so I can undo this mistake. At least I've gotta try. The capillaries in my eyes are bursting. If our love died, would that be the worst thing for somebody I thought was my savior? Sure made me do a whole lot of labor. The callous skin on my hands is cracking. If our love ends, would that be a bad thing? And the silence haunts of a chamber. You made me do too much labor all day, every day. Therapist, mother, maid, nymph, then a virgin, nurse, then a servant, just an appendage. Live to attend him so that he never lifts a finger. 24/7 baby machine, so he can live out his picket fence dreams. It's not an act of love if you make her. You made me do too much labor all day, every day. Therapist, mother, maid, nymph, then a virgin, nurse, then a servant, just an appendage. Live to attend him so that he never lifts a finger. 24/7 baby machine, so he can live out his picket fence dreams. It's not an act of love if you make her. You made me do too much labor. The capillaries in my eyes are bursting. If our love died, would that be the worst thing for somebody I thought was my savior? Sure made me do a whole lot of labor. The callous skin on my hands is cracking. If our love ends, would that be a bad thing? And the silence haunts of a chamber. You made me do too much labor.
Thank you, Paris Coloma. It's a shame Alexandra didn't get to catch much of that performance, as she's been making her way backstage to the natural habitat of pop stars. That's where you find them. How glamorous is it exactly?
Well, Pelle, as you know, it's never the glamour that attracts the audience's interest. It's always the things that happen backstage, which the people out there actually shouldn't see. That's why they're curious, but that's okay. We don't have anything to hide, don't we, guys? Oh, put this one away. Jesus, not that much. Come on. I am joined here backstage, obviously, with Daisy the Great. We've got Water Baby Hannes, and we've got Ines and Damien from Etna, winner of the Anchor Award 2020. Guys, welcome back. How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Guys, when you won the Anchor Award in 2020, how did that impact your career? Tell us.
Well, I think, first of all, I think it made it possible that we played at South by Southwest last year.
That's amazing.
Yes, that was crazy. And wow.
I would say that they've done so much for us. I mean, they took us to the United States. They made possible that we played the Elbphilharmonie.
That's incredible. These are like name-dropping massive things.
Yes, and it's just such a great, loving family, I'd say. They're really, really good to us.
Yeah, and the other thing is that we never stop doing more music, so...
Well, I hope...
The further we do music, the further we play gigs and get to know other cool musicians.
Oh, that's incredible. Thank you for taking us and sharing your experience.
The last 3 days were so cool for me and so inspiring to see so much new acts. Yeah.
That's amazing, incredible. Thank you for sharing a bit of insight and behind the scenes material, because we are backstage, that's what they want to hear. But thank you so much. I'll just grab this one. Thank you so much, you two, and all the best for the future. I am moving over here. Just don't want my camera guy to trip.
Hi.
Hi. Hi. Kelly, Minna, tell me, now listening to Ines and Damien speak about what kind of impact the Anchor Award had on their career. Likes of Bon Iver, Ed Sheeran also played this festival before actually making it. That's crazy actually to think back, isn't it? I mean, they're massive. Nobody doesn't know of them.
Right.
So how important, or what does tonight mean to you two, for you two?
It means so much. It feels really exciting. I think at this stage, it just feels really exciting for us to be here at all and playing music alongside such awesome artists. And it's been a really creative and exciting time this week, and it's really interesting to think of like everyone that's been a part of it, both past and present.
Oh, thanks for sharing that. Thank you so much, and good luck for tonight.
Thank you.
Can't wait. Moving on to you two. Hello, Hannes. Hannes, can I give that a water baby? Can I give you the microphone? Can you share it?
Yes.
You guys share so much, not too much, but like they share a lot. You two do a lot of music together, but today you are going up against each other.
Yeah.
Is it a race? How does that make you feel? Don't laugh, guys. It is true. Tell me.
No, the vibes have been really bad for the last couple of days. Yeah.
With that ice cold face, you just said that.
It's just nice. It's just nice and good vibes. Being with a friend, getting to travel, it's cool.
We continue to chat here backstage. We'll just leave the hard work for the moment to the others in front, okay?
That sounds amazing.
All right, well, let's do that. Pele, is the stage ready to jam, to continue?
It sure is. Our next nominee is enjoying cult-like status in her homeland, Japan. Here is Ichiko Aoba.
Hello everyone, I'm Ichiko Aoba. 私は京都出身、そして今は東京に住んでいます。デビューしてから14年が経ちました。
Minimalistic, magical, and dreamy. That's how you can characterize Ichigo Aoba's music in 3 words. She's already released 7 studio albums and enjoys cult status in her home country, Japan.
私たちにとって音楽は私だけのものでもない、あなただけのものでもない、みんなの記憶や思いが、保管される場所だと思っています。
Ichiko tells wonderful personal stories with her soft voice and delicate guitar sounds, music that she often dreams of.
普段は毎日夢を見るんですけど、その夢をもとに曲を書くことが多いです。
Seeing her playing live is always an experience. The addition of a string section brings a new dimension that elevates her performance. Nominated for the Anchor Award 2023, from Japan, Ichiko Aoba.
パフォーマンスしようと思います。ぜひ聴いてください。
Daisy
Thank you. Ichiko Aoba, everybody. I have to ask myself a question. How come I'm on an empty theater stage and Alexandra's up there with Katie Melua? How did I let this happen?
Well, do you know what? It might be karma, or I might have just been faster than you. Anyhow, we are here now, Katie Melua and an ukulele and me. So, and before this might sound actually like a bad joke, but we have serious business before we start chatting. It is signing this ukulele. Would you please? Fantastic. How? Thank you very much. That's perfect. We just heard Ichiko Aoba on stage before. What I'm wondering is kind of like, is a festival like ours here the right place? Because it was more calm, quiet, like with the lighting and everything. I was kind of like in wonder, like in dreamland. It was absolutely gorgeous. Is this the right place for that kind of genre, for that kind of music?
I think, the best and purest form of art and what music is capable of is always genreless.
Okay, yeah.
So it doesn't matter whether it's in the classical world, jazz, hip hop, R&B, whatever. It really doesn't matter. When you hear like that kind of bullseye and truth in art, it just moves you, and it touches you. And I think that's the greatest thing. I think any artist is trying to achieve that. And we've had the best time listening to these phenomenal artists. And then in between each show, we've had the best debates about what is art, who do we think is going to become huge acts in the future?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
How are we judging this? It's been so fascinating. I've been incredibly grateful to have been here.
That's incredible. Thank you for that insight. I love that you said you've had the best debates.
Sometimes before I arrived here, I was thinking, are we judging the best act live? So is it the live experience that we're looking at? Are we listening for songs? Are we listening for style quality? This is what we've been talking about and discussing.
I actually have so many more questions. I thought I was able to chat longer to you, Katie, but I need to wrap it up slowly. I think you've heard of this is all not my fault. I have no idea what kind of questions are in here, so just choose one.
Okay, I have no idea what this is going to be like.
I honestly am really also not lying. Like, I have no idea what those questions are.
Okay, what's the strangest rumor you ever read about yourself on the internet? I guess the strangest one is that I'm from Wales. Why is that strange? I don't know, because I'm from Georgia, which is in Eastern Europe, and I don't know, that struck me as really strange.
That struck you as really strange. Well, everybody, that's some inside info in case for all of you. Water Baby is coming up now. The nerves might be around excitement. We just spoke to her before. When she sees a camera, she and Hannes, but now she's on stage by herself, they kind of freeze. We don't want that. So any words of encouragement from your side?
I think just to dive inside the music and the words and, find that uniqueness and the spirit.
I think I'll take that tip for myself as well right now. I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Katie Melua, everyone. Thank you very, very much.
Air Force blue eyes, white lies, first tries, crooked smile. Slam doors, you cry, love dies, first highs, it took a while.
music was handed down to Kendra, also known as Water Baby, from an early age. Her grandfather was a jazz pianist and her uncle a concert promoter. In 2023, she received a scholarship during the Music Publisher Awards and is now living her dream.
Tiny time flew right by and now I'm busy planning.
Kendra writes pop songs that give you goosebumps. With her hushed tones and the gentle strumming of acoustic guitars, her songs all have a very organic quality. It feels like Kendra is a good friend of yours, telling you her stories in private during an intimate talk.
All the things I'm not. Guess I should be thankful.
There is much more to come from this Swedish mega talent. Nominated for the Anchor Award 2023 from Sweden, Water Baby.
Thank you, Water Baby. How you doing out there? I'm feeling a little bit like Romeo here. I keep staring up towards the balcony. Alexandra, my Juliet, how are things up there?
Pretty good, Philip, pretty good. Because, I mean, I am in the best company one could imagine. Tony Visconti is next to me. Good evening.
Good evening.
Tony, we do live in a time of awareness. Musicians these days, there's no more wrecking guitars.
Yeah.
You guys are expected to increase the value of an ukulele.
Oh, okay.
You're like, where is she going with that? Would you please sign this one as well? Oh, yes.
So,
an exclusive little sneak peek of what is coming up next, Tony. Maybe. How about we go around here somewhere, if you don't mind? Signature of Tony Visconti. Thank you very much, Mr. Head Judge. I mean, I think we've appointed you for life, pretty much like a president does with the Supreme Court, right?
yeah, that's wonderful. I hope I live long.
Yeah, it'll go on and on. I mean, we're going to see each other hopefully next year as well. Talking about what makes you come back every year, like why?
I never see so much great music in one place. That's it. And, you know, you might think it's close, but South by Southwest is a little too far for me to go. It's like America's a really big 3,000-mile long place. But Reeperbahn festival is so much talent here from so many different countries. And, you know, I remember a couple of years ago, we had a Ukrainian woman who won the contest. She sang in Ukrainian, and she won. You know, so there's no barriers. You could sing in Ukrainian, you could sing in German, French, English, doesn't matter. And I like all of that, you know, I like all of that about this place.
That's what it should be, right? Music should have no barriers, no boundaries.
Of course,
should be a melting pot of everything everyone would want to hear or give back to whoever is listening, right?
I think it's been called the universal language.
Love that, yeah,
You know,
exactly.
you play Chinese music on a 3-string instrument, and it instantly makes you want to cry. You know, such a mournful sound. You know? And you know, it's interesting that the whole planet has their own form of music wherever they live, and we haven't heard it all, by the way.
Yeah. Change, streaming, social media, that has kind of changed the way we listen, the way we experience, perceive music. For everybody or anyone here, even our newcomer bands and artists, or even anybody that might feel inspired tonight to go after what they actually have been dreaming about, what would you tell them how to go about things these days? So much has changed, and I find it very, very difficult.
Well, I think nowadays, current songwriters, whether they be younger or older, have more facility available. Anyone could set up a website and an Instagram page and put your music out there. And the hardest part is to get people to listen to you.
And it might take some perseverance as well.
It will take perseverance. If your heart's really in it and you're ambitious and you're going to do the good fight, do it, and you might just get there in the end.
Love it. Thank you. Very encouraging words for anyone who might want to take that massive, not step like a leap. Tony, you've seen your colleagues do this before, right? Also, would you kindly pull one of these cards? These are questions that might have had to be filtered out, but they still made it into the round. I'm not sure. What's your question you pulled?
Well, what's the strangest gift you've ever received from a fan? And Pele said, I would never answer this question.
I remember him saying that.
I can do better than that. I get all kinds of things from fans, and most of the time, it's their own CD that they made. I get tons of them, and I'll tell you the truth. Because they work so hard to get to me, I listen to each and everything a fan gives me.
Wow. I mean, that's incredible.
Because, you know, the buck ends here. I mean, you know, like if I like it, I'll do something about it. I'll give them an encouraging phone call, or
Has it happened often?
I ended up working with a few fans, like who gave me a demo. Well, I wouldn't know if they were fans, but that's the thing I receive most. And I don't know. No one's ever given me anything stranger than that. Maybe a joint, you know, I just give it to someone else because I don't.
Pass it on.
I
That's
don't
what you
smoke
do with
dope.
joints. We just pass them on. I love that. All right, well, Daisy the Great are about to perform. The way they mix folk rock with indie rock balladry is beyond comparison. So without a doubt, they are what they claim to be, which is Daisy the Great.
I paint my face with glitter in the morning light.
Hi, I'm Kelly. I'm Minna. And our band is Daisy the Great, and we're based in Brooklyn, New York, in the US.
I was in love, it wasn't love.
We formed our band about 7 years ago after we met in college. Kelly and I just kind of like started singing in harmony together, and we liked the sound of our voices together.
The duo presents indie pop, casually and without varnish.
I've always kind of had no rules when it came to like genre and style.
And they're doing it very successful. Their single Record Player took off on TikTok and has generated over 300 million worldwide streams.
Record player that was made in 2014, dyed my hair blue. It came out of C6 or degree.
Kelly's and Mina's absolute passion, live performances.
To take the milk is turning sour, but I'd rather go dancing.
Like our shows are very loving. Like I felt very grateful.
At the moment, Daisy the Great are touring Europe for the first time.
I've never played in Europe. This is the first time playing in Europe. We're like super excited.
Nominated for the Anchor Award 2023 from the USA, Daisy the Great.
Thank you so much. We're Daisy the Great.
Are you listening to the clocks in this house? They are growling at me. They are growling at me, saying, how can it be that the world is falling apart? The sky is burning, no more need to hurry. We were right to worry. We were right to worry. The birds are gone now. The time has come now. Just close your eyes now. Just close your eyes now. The sea is crying. The moon is sighing. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. It's all around us. The end is crowned us. The star has found us. I once read about a time machine. They learned to teach electrons to go back to where they started. Should we go back to where we started? Maybe we could build a time machine and put it in my old car, fill it up with dirty water. We could try a little harder. If I go back, will I do it all the same again? If I go back, will I do it all the same again? If I go back, will I do it all the same again? If I go back, will I
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, so much. Wow, I really do feel like we've been in a time machine. I mean, time flies when you're watching great talent and having so much fun. And as I look up here, Pelle is back on top of things. Are you ready? And you're joined by Banks. How's the air up there, actually?
It's good. I never imagined that getting high in Sao Paulo just meant climbing up some theater stairs, though. Banks, hello. You are the last to sign this least macho instrument in rock history.
Awesome.
Please do the honors. This will be auctioned off for charity, possibly millions of dollars, because where else would you find these signatures in one place? Yeah, it's an unusual collaboration, to say the least. Let's see how much money it brings in. Banks, this is your first Anchor Award. What's your impression of the last couple of days?
Oh my God, it's been incredible, honestly. It's been so inspiring. Getting to know these judges has been so inspiring. You know, hearing music from all over the world, different artists, different energies, seeing the crowds react to the artists. It's really been, it's been amazing. Yeah, it's good. I'm in the middle of making an album right now, so it felt actually like I got so much, I got really rejuvenated here. Yeah, really inspiring.
Yeah, there's always all kinds of musical genres and styles here. How important is it for you to push musical boundaries?
I mean, it's very important, more in my head, to push my own boundaries. When I'm making music, I'm not really thinking of like, I need to push musical boundaries. It's more just like pushing myself to doing, you know, something I'm scared to do, you know, something that you kind of like doubt yourself a little, like pushing past. And sometimes you have to go past a limit to kind of like bring it back a little and find a new sound. So I think that, yeah, I think pushing your own boundaries is really important.
You've said that art is an influence on your music as well?
When I'm making music, I oftentimes kind of like see a world in my head anyways, kind of with like colors and you know, the atmosphere that I want to create in someone's mind if they were just closing their eyes and listening. So I do get very inspired by like, you know, depending on the song I'm writing. But I know like growing up and, you know, Georgia O'Keeffe has always been someone that I was really inspired by. And I'm really into like weird surrealist collages right now.
That's amazing. So you know the drill by now. These are the questions. Okay. Terrifying questions, I'm sure. Would you care to pick one?
Nervous. Let's do this one. If you could plan your next world tour exactly as you wish, which venue is a must and why? I feel like some nights I would want it to be kind of like in an intimate setting. Some nights I just want to be a super pop star and, you know, play to a gajillion people. But exactly as I wish, I would imagine the middle of a forest with a lot of trees and space somehow, where we can all listen to music and get crazy.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Send me an invite.
Cool, I will.
Thank you, Banks. It's a pleasure. We have one last nominee who can't wait to perform for you tonight. Despite the hypes, obviously, Sweden has many great rock acts, such as Ghost, Ace of Base, Army of Lovers. Our next nominee is more on the softer side of things. Close and personal, he performs with a captivating understatement and leaves his audience happy, but also in tears. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Hannes.
Not only in his home country, Sweden, has Hannes gained a lot of attention in a very short time. He made his musical debut in 2019 and just 2 years later received a Swedish Grammy Award nomination. Hannes is all about understatement, modesty, and simplicity. No unnecessary staging, no unnecessary exaggeration. Nothing distracts. Hannes steps back and puts his music and his memorable voice to the very forefront.
I had her walk in my shoes. I'm throwing it out. I walk in the streets again.
People like his style, his songs, his statements. Hannes has over 1 million listeners on Spotify every single month.
We're gonna make a memory.
Nominated for the Anchor Award 2023. From Sweden, Hannes.
But I'll be honest for you, yeah. And if we're talking, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Yeah. You and me made a lover of a memory. No, stop, concentrate. We're gonna make a memory. 'Cause you've been on the west side, showing them your best side. You've been wearing new jeans and shoes, while I've been living less life. Sleeping's getting no rest nights, thinking about us and how I do. Yeah, you and me, yeah, made a lover of an enemy. No, stop, concentrate. We're gonna make a memory, yeah. Okay. Do you remember when she lied to you? Yeah, I do. Remember how she almost fooled me too? Yeah, I do. You could do better, I mean honestly. I could. This is her city, it's just Stockholm's face. Black rain is advanced, diamonds on my face. I don't wanna say I'm not okay. You say you wanna go, I wanna stay. Baby, it's okay. Yeah, I'm okay by myself. You and me, yeah, made a lover of an enemy. No, slow, continue. We're gonna make a memory.
What a performance.
Oh, love them so much, right? I can feel it. Look, I don't know what you call it. Goosebumps and some tears, but like definitely goosebumps. That was incredible. Guys, that was basically it. We've heard all of our nominees of the Anchor Award 2023. How did you like them? Right? I mean...
You liked all of them equally as much, right? Such a well-picked bunch. So much talent. How's your Reeperbahn Festival been? You had a good time?
Did you have a good time?
Yes, I did indeed. I managed to done it all. I've been standing here looking good. I've been soaked in sweat, crawling on a crowd. Done it all. And I'll do it again.
I love
if you don't watch out. How have you had it? How has it been for you?
I really enjoyed it, I have to say. I also think it's incredible that we can actually all share this together. It's my first time, and I do think we don't give a big enough platform, actually, these days anymore to music in general, up-and-coming new bands and artists. So I do think this is just an incredible evening to celebrate music in general and the continuance of music, right?
Can we get some applause for the organizers?
Here is our wonderful jury, Taylor Parks, Katie Malua, Banks, and Tony Visconti. Woo!
He's got an important piece of paper with him. I'm sure
my
it's
gosh.
why they won and who won. So remember, the winner doesn't just get the Anchor Award, they also get 20,000 euros, which can be used for the next tour. Wow, we are dying to know. Tony?
Yeah, I'm going to enter next year.
Who won
I
this
could
year?
use 20,000.
Okay. You can raise it. So we're dying to know. Who is the
okay.
winner? Do the honors.
Well, this is a freshly written speech, so I'm afraid I'll have to read it. The Reeperbahn Festival is an event dedicated to variety. We rediscovered this with the performance of every nominee for the Anchor Award. They all showed so much heart. There was no artificial coolness, just pure personality. Artists defining themselves through the music they are carrying inside and which they are willing to share. We thank all of you nominees, but unfortunately we can only give out one award. Our winner is an extraordinary act destined for fame. Our winner is sincere, serene, very confident and modest. Pop music is always in a state of change, and it's always pushing boundaries. We experienced music which comforted us, which soothed us, and brought us to tears. The nominee creates a musical universe with strong roots, crafted through skill and pure musical mastery. Are you ready?
The room is trembling.
The winner is Ichiko Aoba.
Congratulations! Oh my gosh! Ichiko! Come and pick up your award. Oh my gosh. This is your award. Congratulations. Ichiko Aoba, winner of the Anchor Award 2023. We need a microphone quickly. So we use this one. Oh, Tony, are you hiding that microphone? We could look for days here. Ichiko, please. Congratulations. What's going through your head?
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm so happy. Yeah.
Oh, bless you.
It's wonderful to hear. What's also would be wonderful to hear, I'm sure we all want to hear your song again. If you may please play the winning contribution. Some more applause, please. There you have
You
it.
want to keep this here? Should we take it back? Thank you.
Daisy, Poodoo.
Alba,
Wonderful
our
performance.
winner of the Anchor Award 2023. Congratulations again. Congratulations. And congratulations and thank you, everyone. Thank you to all of our nominees for being part this year. All the best for the future, for your musical future. Thank you to our audience as well for being part of this evening. Thank you very much. And a massive thank you for the best jury between Elbe and Ulster. Ladies and gentlemen, now the big applause for our judges.
Congratulations.
Ichiko Aoba. Woo!